going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode built by the Red Stick, man. We are glad to have y'all back with us. We got your boy Michael Oakley, Ronnie LaDuff,
sir, in this thing.
And who we got with us?
Man, we got the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He ain't born in the Red Stick, but he do some good work in the Red Stick, but we still gonna show him love. Let's give it up, Mr. Shakeir Ryan in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's up, my dude?
I'm good, man.
Hey, I gotta do something real quick. Look. Last night I was like, when we knew we was gonna have you on, like I was planning this commercial in my thing. So look, let me see. I want to try out for your marketing team. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you're down on your luck and your car just went out, call Get It Going Transportation. Did I say it right? It's Get Going Transportation.
Get going. Yeah, but nah, you was close.
Hold on. Take two. Hold on right now. You're down on your luck and your car just went out, call my guy Shakeir at Get Going Transportation. When the going get tough, let's get you going.
Yes, indeed. All right. I like that. I like that. All right.
So,
I like that.
As Ronnie's made reference, man, Shakeir's got Medicaid transport company.
Yes, sir.
Get going.
And not just Medicaid. Is any transportation correct, or is only strictly through Medicaid?
So we do Medicaid, private transportation, airport
There you go, okay.
chauffeuring, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so right now, currently out of the Lafayette area, but you're branching out.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 225, baby.
Welcome home.
Here he comes.
We're gonna take
Look, I'm just excited because we hadn't had a guest that I could talk my shit with LSU football in a minute. We got this damn Florida State fan, 1-4. But no, we're glad to have you on, man. So you've watched us a little bit, but we're all about overcoming. We're all about just adversity, facing things, talking Baton Rouge, talking overcoming, talking mental health, whatever it is, bringing positive light to
peace,
community,
love,
to the country, all those things. So, fill the listeners in a little bit about you. Where'd you grow up? Kind of life story, a little bit,
Okay, yeah. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. I was born and raised there.
Cajun
I went
country.
Y'all
hear it
you
in
are
his
raging
voice?
Cajun.
Y'all hear it in his
Cooking
voice?
too.
Yeah,
food in Lafayette different. Hey, I love New Orleans. Shout out New Orleans. I love y'all food too, but Lafayette they got some
that gumbo around the corner.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How y'all said, oh yeah, chef.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. I went to Northside High School. I grew up on the north side of town. It's a little neighborhood. They call it Fightingville. That's where I grew up. After that, I graduated from Northside High School. I went to Northwestern State. I graduated in business administration there, and then played ball, did track. After that, I got a shot with the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
I played there. Yeah.
That's the NFL, right?
NFL, yes, sir.
You hear that, ladies? You hear that, ladies? We got a superstar down here.
We were doing our research, and because we like to, we already know you, but we also like to know a little bit more and everything. So we saw your time at the Rams and everything. But Ronnie found a picture that made me so jealous.
Which one was that?
It was you with Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, bro.
He's one of my favorite comedians.
Kevin Hart,
ever,
ladies
bro.
and gentlemen. So kind of like indirectly, we got Kevin Hart on the show right now because my dude was with him. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. To get to that situation, it's crazy how I met so many celebrities in LA. Like Kevin Hart, obviously, he did like a little short show with the Rams or something like that.
I remember when he was catching the punt.
Yes,
I remember watching that. Okay.
Yeah, so he did that there, like at 1 hour practices. But I met Jamie Foxx. I have a picture of Jamie Foxx as well. So I'm walking to the store because we was staying in it's not Calabasas. I forgot which area it was at. I have to look in my phone. But anyway, so the area we was staying in was pretty much obviously like people wealthy, whatever the case. So I'm walking to the store. And I see Jamie Foxx, and it's like just like us,
just hanging out,
hanging out, like you just see
putting gas. Obviously, he had an entourage with him, another guy. I mean, you can't not notice him. He was in a gold Bugatti, and so I'm walking. You know what I mean? Because I'm leaving.
That LA life is different. That LA life is
different.
What was the culture shock coming from Louisiana to Los Angeles?
Have y'all who is that? French Prince of Bel Air. Whenever he's rolling,
Yeah.
he's just looking out the window like this.
Yo, Holmes, Bel
It's just how it was. I ain't lying. It was my first time, and obviously I knew I was going there for business,
Right.
but obviously just enjoying the moment, enjoying the experience, man, and that was pretty cool. I ran into Vivica Fox. They were shooting a short film at the hotel. It was a great experience, man. I enjoyed my time there. And after I got released from the Rams, I went. Well, they're now the Commanders.
Okay.
Yes,
And
I
I
was
did.
right. I was right.
And
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
nah, you good, man. And I did most of my time actually with the Redskins. I stayed the season there on the practice squad. And then after that, I eventually did a couple years in Canada.
So you returned to
CFL.
punt for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So you down, ladies and gentlemen, he is downplaying it. This guy played in the NFL, the National Football League.
Which is, so I talk about which is cool because a lot of people see NFL and they see the top, the top players and stuff, and they don't understand the grind and the mindset and the stress, and because of course the stress happens to them as well. But I mean, I can only imagine you go from Northwestern to LA. You were at LA for
I stayed there from May until August.
okay.
Preseason.
And so then now all of a sudden you're in Washington, and then all of a sudden you're in
Canada, eh? Shout out my
And so,
Canadians.
what is that time like in your life?
Man, it's when people talk about CTE or people kind of just turn into drugs and stuff like that, I can understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because with the NFL, it's a numbers game. It's not like high school or college where you see all these kids on the sideline. If you look at an NFL game, you look at the sideline, you see is maybe a couple people.
53-man
roster. And a lot of times during the season, people switching in, switching out. So I would see a guy when I was with the Redskins. I'd see a guy come in on Tuesday, and then he would be gone by Friday because let's just say the Sunday before a lineman got hurt, and maybe let's say Wednesday during practice another lineman got hurt. So that means the guy we just signed, who maybe was a running back, we gotta let him go to bring in a lineman.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because of the numbers. And so, it's like everybody gets excited, but, the stressful part comes in. You just don't know when they call in your phone to tell you.
And it's just like that.
No, it's just like that.
You're at practice one day, the next day they're calling, hey, unfortunately, we got,
Yeah, that story. I done heard it about 5-6 times with them just being like, sorry, we going in a different direction. That's their main word, a different direction. We going in a different direction, but we love you here, unfortunately with injuries. But, I learned to just kind of charge it to the game, man, and, know that I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Right.
Man, one of the most iconic NFL trade or cut videos I ever seen was Vontae Davis. He was with the Miami.
I
want to say, I want to call my grandma, and just the look on his face, that sums it up, how people feel. So, how did that affect your mental health, just going day to day and not having that stability, because a lot of us that dealt with drugs and stuff like that, that's how we live. We not knowing we're gonna be today, tomorrow, the stability.
And look, I'll pose this question: if you were able to stay strong with it, what do you attest to being able to stay strong through it?
Man, that's a good question. Well, both of them good questions. It's just I'm a huge believer in Christ. I come from a praying family, so it's just my belief that everything happens for a reason. So that kind of keeps me going, but still it's hard to get settled anywhere. But you always just try to stay optimistic, stay positive, kind of preparing for the worst, still praying for the best.
Right.
And for me, I just try to go out there every day and give it my all. Just imagine. Obviously, what we do now, entrepreneurs or, in charge of our own business or running a program, whatever it is, we can mess up a day, or if we not feeling it that day, then we can kind of, you know what, man, I'm gonna take the day off.
Yeah.
There is no days off.
No days off.
They don't want to hear that.
So it's a grind even during the off season. Like during the off season, you still prepping your body and making sure
Probably
you.
the most grinding part.
Yeah, taking care of it.
So at what point, because we had a conversation before, like off camera, being very business minded and having that not the fail safe plan, I'm sorry, but having a backup plan outside of football, and you knowing that like this is not forever.
Right.
So at like what point did that start switching and you started thinking like that?
Whenever I got cut in Canada, that's whenever kind of react. Well, my first, because I played with 3 teams in Canada.
Hamilton,
right? Hamilton, Montreal, and the BC Lions.
Okay.
And
before Christ.
Yeah. So because when I went up to Canada, I was like, okay, I'm this NFL stuff. It was like, man, because I was flying to different teams doing workouts and tryouts, and I felt like sometimes they was just flying you out just to really work out the guy that they really wanted. Like maybe he was
you were just used to push to them. You were just used to push them, or
exactly
it was
right,
like a scout team trial type.
Yeah, and they'll just go fly me back home after the night.
Yeah.
So, I was like, okay, well, I know I can possibly go in Canada, get some film, and come back. That's what my agent was telling me. So I went to Canada, and my first CFL game, I returned a touchdown. I returned a kick for a touchdown. Right then and there, I was like, okay, I can do some things here. Man, that, like, the game afterwards, I got cut. And I'm like, well, I'm doing, and they're like, well, we have this other guy here. I apologize. We have this other guy here that, he's been with us. We're paying him and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. I understand that. I know it's a business. So then after that, it kind of clicked to my mind because I was back at home and I was doing construction work with my dad. And I figured I was going to get a call back because of me returning the kick, showing what I can do. But as I'm working with him, I realized that, man, like, what if I don't get a call back?
Right.
So I got to think fast forward and seeing him work and how he managed things and how he, controlled his employees, controlled certain situations. I was like, okay, I think I can do something like this. So.
Dude, I can only imagine.
Being in the NFL.
No. South Louisiana. Because at that point, I mean, you're still a kid. You're probably 20, 21. But, I mean, at that point, think about what we knew at 21, right?
Nothing.
And so I'm from South Louisiana.
I was incarcerated.
I'm from South Louisiana, and now I'm in Canada. Well, I can only. It's cold up there.
Yeah. It is. And so I got to ask this early because the audience, they kind of fussed at me last time for waiting to the end of the show. Dude, I'm telling you, our audience is crazy.
So
I told y'all I was going to ask. How do you feel about feet?
Feet?
Yes, the audience, they always want to know every episode, every guest we have. They want to know.
I actually, I'm answering for me.
He's got a foot fetish. That's why he asked this damn question.
I like light colored toenails. So
French tips.
I like French tips.
Flesh tone
yellow,
colors.
Pink, red.
See, listen, y'all.
I do. I don't mind them. I like those colors. Darker colors, like maybe black, dark blue. It doesn't matter like what color the woman is. It just the toes. And I don't mind.
So you're a man that believes feet go in your mouth and not just socks too, right?
Hey man, if I gotta get that to get what I want,
let's
you know what I'm saying?
Let's go, man.
How they say that you gotta give a little to gain something.
The feet question derails us every time.
It does.
It's a feet question.
But that's our audience, bro. They so great and they just want to know. They want to know about feet.
Like
so yes, the NFL does not stand for no feet league for Mr. Shakeir Ryan. He is team feet.
Oh man.
So we'll get back on topic.
I'm sorry.
So when
Squirrel.
was your last stint in the CFL? What year?
2021.
So 2021.
Oh, that's recent.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago. You fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You finish that. You come back to Louisiana. How does get going? How does that formulate? How do you get involved in that?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of trials and tribulations did you face with that transition in life?
So okay, so like I said, after that first cut, I kind of got into more business grind mode. Cool, I got cut again. Every time I got released, it made me even more and more want to look into my future after football.
So you never had the feeling of not being good enough,
No,
like
I feel
internally.
like I always perform, man. It was just always in a bad situation, at a bad timing, man. And my last time when I was in Montreal, I had got injured, and the guy who had stepped in, I mean, he was going crazy. And he
Yeah.
deserved. I felt like he deserved the spot. So, like I said, I believe in Christ. So certain things, everything happens for a reason. So I figured, okay, maybe my time here is up.
That's why I asked that. So that's a testament to the foundation that you have, because people like me, I would have been like, man, I ain't good enough. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's dope.
So after that, I never forget. That's when we had COVID.
Right,
So
yeah.
COVID came right after that season. When I was in Montreal, so this maybe like 2020. And I was on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know what I was looking for, and I seen they
Feet
had
pics.
a. You see, man, right, crazy, man.
Don't listen to him.
I seen they had a school bus, and at the time, my friends they was doing like daiquiris, doing something like daiquiris. I was like, oh look, this would be a cool idea. Y'all could do daiquiris on the go. After a certain amount of time, they didn't do it. I was in camp. I went back after COVID or whatever, and I realized that they wouldn't obviously pushing the issue. So then I seen a party bus, and I was like, oh man, this would be cool. And I was like, man, I said, man, me and my homeboy Corey, he does party promotion. So moving forward, I got with him. He wanted to know obviously my business plan, what I had in mind. I told him this what we can do, da 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 da. We can each go and have fun this, and we could start this party bus business. Man, when I say like this, and keep in mind this was like the summer before I had to go report back to camp in Canada. So we advertising it, and like everybody's like, oh man, we how can we rent the bus? So I'm excited because now it's like, man, this is something I can do, to make some money
Right.
outside of football. So obviously I was still playing. He was working out of town. So we couldn't really come together and do it at the moment. I'm in Canada. He's in like West Texas somewhere. But we bought the bus. So the bus is just kind of like sitting there. I got released. I think he got laid off from his job. Like I said, everything with time just worked out together. We was like, all right, cool. I'm not tripping. We started the party bus. And I mean, man, I'll never forget, we started September in 2021 because I had ended up getting released, and from then on out, man, we yeah, I mean it was profitable and it helped
So
me.
you went from daggers on the go to people shaking that ass
Yeah.
on the bus all down the street
All
to
that.
helping these nice, respectable people get to their doctor's appointments and celebrities get to the airport. So you still do the party bus thing?
No, so that so after the party buses, obviously kind of like what you saying, shaking ass and all that, and drunk people, and you got to deal with a lot because I was
Yeah.
driving, he was driving, because
Now,
at
what's
that
the
point,
insurance policy on having a party bus?
yeah, it's expensive.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's expensive.
God.
So, but that's the great thing is we was making the money. I mean, you can get like $250, $300. We had 3 buses at one time.
Oh man.
So he would drive when I would drive when we had a driver.
Look, they know how to party in Lafayette.
Yes,
They
indeed.
know how to party. In
Man,
Lafayette.
Yes,
downtown
Yeah.
party bus.
What's the name of that street? That big street in Lafayette? I can't think of the name of it. Everybody go there.
Probably Jefferson. That's downtown Lafayette.
It's another one. I used to go to raves out there. Yes, people. My black people. I used to go to raves. I can't think of the name of the street though. It was at
Johnston?
not Johnson. It's another one. I think the name of the place I used to go to is like the Grand or something.
Yeah,
like
okay, I know what you're talking about.
that. Yeah.
Is it Grant Street? No,
Might be. I don't know. But they
it's on the corner.
I'm not very familiar with Lafayette.
Look here.
I don't know.
hard. bro.
Yeah,
I think there was a club called the Keg I went to one
the
time. and got
keg.
kicked out or
Not a
something.
keg, a classic.
Yeah.
Kicked out of school clubs, everything. huh?
Yeah. Well, look, my problem was always that I was short. I'm not a big dude, bro, but I hung out with a bunch of big dudes, so I would just talk mad shit. And then when the fights came, I just take a step back. My boys had my back and shit.
Let it be what it is.
Yeah.
Nah, I got you, man. So, but yeah. So I just kind of got tired of that, and I actually was working a 9 to 5 while I was doing the party buses, because obviously the party bus is only operating on weekends,
Right.
Friday,
Right.
Saturday, and I was like, I need something to do Monday through Thursday. I can get a job or something. I ended up getting that job, and I got fired from that job, from the off field job, and then my mind is always what's next. I never was a guy that doubted myself. I just think maybe I'm not good enough. I always felt like I had the confidence to do whatever I put my mind to. And how I got into this, I was on YouTube, sitting at the house. I never forget. I'm sitting at the house. I'm on YouTube, and they had this guy. His name is Sean. I forgot his last name, and it was like how to make $500 a day. And you just clicking. So I clicked it. I was like, oh, these vans I be seeing going around, and then once you watch some on YouTube, it seems like every single time you go back on, it has something related to that.
Uh-huh.
That algorithm got you.
Yeah.
Hooked, boy, I'm telling you.
So look, y'all make sure to watch stuff about recovery, overcoming. That way, Built by the Red Stick will become on
Yes.
your algorithm,
Yes,
and
indeed.
you can get inspired and hear great stories like
Yes.
this.
Nah.
If you ever want to come watch us shoot live, you can get with Shakeir and he'll come pick you up and watch
Yes,
us shoot.
indeed. Whenever, man. So that led into that, man. I started doing the medical transportation vans, whatever I had to do to get credentialed and get on board. And then one van led to two. Now I have 6. And with the expansion with y'all, which
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of, man. And like I said, I love to seize the opportunity, take on new opportunities, and expand as far as God lets me. So that's where I'm at today.
Hell yeah, and a woman love a man with a set of wheels. He got 3 sets of wheels right now,
6
ladies. 6 sets.
So he said
He
6
got
man.
3 vans.
6
No, 6 vans, 2 party buses. So I still have my party buses.
Oh, you cutting up.
And then I got 10 vehicles, my truck and my car. But,
You took that whole "you can reach me by airplane." You took that whole song to the whole other level. You gonna get there how you can. You hear me?
man,
So how was because it sounds like, and so when we met very organically. I was at my job, Regions, one of my jobs.
Dude, you got 6.
At Regions, and I see this nice, well-dressed gentleman, you know what I'm saying, clean-cut guy come through the door, and it was the vibe that I got, right?
Absolutely.
He had a fire vibe about him. And so we chopped it up, and I took a liking to him. And so, we continued to chop it up after that. But is that a testament to your upbringing, like as a child? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like your parents are great people, the way you carry yourself, the confidence that you have. You say you believe in Christ, so you grew up a God-fearing man. Like, did your parents play an important role into that?
yeah, definitely. My mom, man, she's very respectful, very well mannered. My uncle, which y'all know, Trev Falk, that played for LSU.
Okay.
So he was pretty much my father figure growing up. Unfortunately, my dad was in prison my first 12, 13 years of my life, so I didn't really get a chance to mingle with him growing up. But looking up to guys like my uncle Trev, who was obviously at LSU when I was maybe like 5, and then
Yeah.
NFL.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
He was a savage. He don't know nothing about that because he a Florida
Oh,
State
yeah,
fan.
Florida State fan,
Little
yeah.
Florida, what are y'all, 1-4?
We're gonna be 2-4 by the time.
Or 1-5?
We 1-4. We're gonna be 2-4 when this airs.
Didn't y'all just get smashed by SMU?
Yeah.
They just got a football team back.
Yeah.
We ain't
They
get
just got a football
we
team
ain't
back.
get smashed. It was 42-16.
Right. Hey, that's not Florida State as a Florida. We're gonna keep you on prayer, man.
We beat LSU 2 years in a row.
That is.
Why you got it? Why?
Hello? What
Di-
y'all?
just like
Dun, 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 dun. No, Tigers.
Hey, look. We forgot to tell y'all one of his jobs is a plumber. He likes to bring up old shit.
I like that one. That's a good one. I'm gonna use that one.
But anyway, so having your uncle, your mom, they great role models and stuff. And what do you attribute? Because like we both grew up playing sports. I mean, I made it nowhere near to that level. I that blew out my knee my junior year. I wrestled and stuff, but what I attribute like the discipline, and I didn't use it early in my life when I was in my addiction and stuff, but like a lot of the discipline that sports taught me, I attribute to my drive and my success now. Do you find that is a key component in your success with Get Going?
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, let's just think about it. Waking up, waking up early on time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for here, I mean, I text you at what
5:30.
5.
5:30.
I'm talking about. I was like, damn, you trying to take my spot?
Welcome to Elevate, a place for people like you, built by people just like you.
We're committed to helping all elevate from the destruction of addiction. I hope I would give somebody who's either new in recovery or that's currently struggling with addictions, today can be the last day that you struggle, the last day that you wonder how you're going to have to chase down that drink, that fix, whatever the case may be for you.
At Elevate, we embody more than treatment. It's about passion, love, understanding, truly being your partner on your path to recovery.
Our staff treats substance abuse and co-occurring mental health disorders with a multidisciplinary approach to best fit our clients' needs. We all just embrace each other. We genuinely care, check up on each other. And it's not an act. You matter. You're more than what you've allowed yourself to assume you were.
When perseverance, hard work, and dedication meets, success happens.
At Elevate, we have a variety of programs to fit our clients' personal needs, such as intensive outpatient, and the aftercare program.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, give us a call. Elevate. Do more than recover. Leave a legacy.
Yeah, man, and that's just the
Coming
little
from Lafayette too. Like you wasn't in town, so yeah.
Yeah, it's the little things, man. That consistency.
Yeah.
To stay on the field, you have to be consistent. Coachable, discipline.
Right,
Your
right.
coach telling you to do certain things. I may get advice from y'all. You know what I mean? So I look, Shake, I think you should go about it this way. But if I'm always like, nah, I'm gonna do it my way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So just those traits with sports. I mean, I tell all my former athletes that I still deal with, I say, man, if you could just use those traits that you learn from there, there's no reason you shouldn't be successful in business. You know what I'm saying?
And so you do like a mentoring thing for different athletes now, or like on the side, or
No, I mainly talk to them over the phone, guys that I played with, just kind of try to help them with that after sports, cause
Yeah.
that's tough, man.
I mean, what's the statistic about NFL players?
1-2% of people make it. You
No,
talking
I'm
like,
talking about how many of them are broke after.
after 5 years or 3 years or something like that, like 80-something%, I think it is.
And
A high
I mean,
percentage.
when you think about it, like just imagine, let's just say you're let's say 30 at this point, and you've been playing football since you was 9. So we talking
whole
21
life.
years straight. And you have, let's just say, not everybody gets the big contract. So let's just say you have $3 million.
Yeah.
And let's just say your bills at this point is like $30,000, because obviously you're on this pedestal. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants donations. You got rent, mortgage, whatever, car notes,
Everything.
whatever. And once things stop coming in like they used to, but it's still pouring out, eventually that bottle gets empty. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then once you get down to a certain amount, then you turn into panic mode. And then that's when they turn into drugs, depression. And you can't let it show that you're at your lowest, because all your life you've been here. So, you know what I mean? It's like overcoming that and being humble. So,
Which is, I'm glad you brought that up, because over the last couple of years, publicly, right? And so I'll ask maybe a behind the scenes question. Publicly, a lot of these major sports brands have really started making a push for worrying about their athletes' mental health. Are there programs or things that these organizations are doing, or is it just publicly a push for their mental health, and then the individual has to really be aware of their mental health?
I think at the time, like I said, when this was like 2017, 2019, so we talking maybe like 7 years ago. They was more so on financial, not more so mental health.
Right.
I think like mental health maybe has been more pushed on as the last maybe 4 or 5 years, in my opinion, from what I experienced.
Right.
So, man, when you there, man, you gotta perform. I never got anyone or people come and be like, you know, how are you doing?
Yeah.
How's your mental?
It's perform or go.
How you managing your money? Man, it's just you better show up to practice. You know what I mean? We gotta win.
I'm telling you.
So, and a lot of us as men too, you know, our ego sometimes is we always just I'm good, you know, we good.
Yep.
Go figure
we
it
talk
out.
about that a lot. You know what I mean? Especially in our culture. You know what I mean? Like we good. We finna go to work. You know, we finna go to church. Or you know what I'm saying? We gonna do something to take our mind off of it instead of dealing with the issue.
Right.
And that's one thing that we try to promote is like overcoming that stigma of the male ego. You know, Ronnie talks about it in the black culture. Not we just gonna pray it away. We're not gonna talk about it. And so like that's one of the things we try to is it's okay to talk about it. And I get in certain situations like, and that's a testament to you to the way you were raised and the culture and the mindset and faith in Christ that you put in is that you were able to differentiate like, hey, look, when I'm on this football field or when I'm at these organizations or no matter what it is, this is my business, right? And so like I need to show up, I need to be about my business, and then I have my support system that I fall back on my mental health side.
Correct.
Which is a powerful thing to have, which we go into, and they talk about it with athletes all the time, or just people in general. Is like, who is your crowd? Like, are you surrounding yourself with the right people? Are you having people that support you? I tell people all the time, like, so many times people mistake this loyalty, and they so loyal to people that they would jump in front of the bullet for, but those people would push you in front of the bullet.
Yeah. Yep.
That's powerful, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll jump in front of a bullet for you. I would.
I had to think about that one, but that's true though.
Yeah.
That is true. I started thinking about other people. Now I'm going to text everybody who wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for me. I don't need you in my life no more. You see what you did, Mike?
For 2 sweet tickets, bro.
One of my
jump in front of the bullet for you.
one of my favorite quotes is by a guy named Gary V. He is a motivational speaker.
I love Gary V, bro.
And so he always talks about auditing your circle, right? Like, and he says, you know, take a look at the people, because unfortunately, most of the time we are a accumulation of the company in which we keep, right? And so like he was like, audit your circle and see who the people you're surrounding yourself with. Are they striving to make you better, or are y'all just complacent, right? And he makes the, you know, I believe, and this is where some of my assholism is going to come out. I believe that we as a society have become too comfortable with not telling people when they suck, right? Which I get the balance of like.
You do a great job at that.
I get the balance of like maintaining people's mental health and not always knowing what they go through. But like, if somebody shows you who they are, trust them to show you them,
right.
you know? And so, if you're hanging out with a bunch of losers, even if you're the coolest loser of all the losers,
you still a loser.
Yeah, you know.
Loser.
And so, you know, I think that's an important aspect to look at. Is like, who do we surround ourselves with, right? Like I enjoy being around Ronnie. I enjoyed when we met, and I called Ronnie right after, and I was like, man,
I arranged that meeting too, y'all. So if y'all start seeing them together and blowing up, just know I did that.
Shout out to Ronnie, man. For sure.
But like, you know, like that's how I have found success in my life, is like surrounding myself with people that are A, gonna challenge me to be better, and B, like you said, or that, like I was always called the coachable kid when I grew up playing sports. Like that surrounding myself and being that coachable kid, like where I'm willing to take advice from people I trust.
Thanks.
Now I also say, you know, I'll never take advice from somebody, I'll never get offended by someone who I'd never take advice from.
Say that again for the people that ain't clicked on the video yet.
I will never get offended by somebody who I would never take their advice from.
Talk your talk.
Yes, Lord.
I would never, ever be offended by somebody I never take advice from. See, you held that,
right there.
He held that quote from me. I've been rocking with Mike for 5 years now. I've said all his educations for 18 months straight. I ain't never hear you say that.
Not once, huh?
See, you holding out on me, bro.
I still got a couple of little.
Man, I don't want it at all. But that's how it was. Like when men, it's Shakeir, right?
Yeah, Shakeir. Y'all could say Shake.
Shake.
That's my nickname.
Because every time I say your name and then I hear you say it, I'm like, am I saying it wrong? His accent just
Nah, you
different.
good.
But when we met and we was running it, and not to get too personal,
Nah, go
but
ahead.
I told him, I was like, bro, I want to make you the biggest transportation company in the area. You know what I'm saying? And then the nation. And it was you know me, but
Yeah, my boy.
way big, and it was the vibe. Like you could just
absolutely.
tell he was genuine. So I'm like, nah, you know what? Like I'm finna introduce you to this person, and so on and so forth. So, with that said, I want to get to the meat and potatoes. How long you been single? They just text me. Tell him my phone blowing up.
Yeah, they want to know.
I already got people saying, who is that? You know what I mean? So yeah, what's up?
So I had once I got out of college was in 2017, and obviously once I went pro, I wanted to. I mean, I'm in LA, so I think it made me single.
LA Confidential. Yeah.
So I have been single since then, but I recently just got into a relationship. So
You ain't tell me that.
yeah, that was recently.
You
This
can't
was
cut this part. I'm sorry.
Chicago. Yeah.
So you holding out too.
Yeah.
What's up with y'all, bro?
Exclusivity.
Hold on, bro. So I thought you went by yourself.
No,
He told you he didn't go by
No, he
yourself.
no. I assumed he went by himself because he didn't tell me he was with somebody.
And what happens when you assume?
You make an ass out of you and me. I'm sorry. To the new missus, you got you a great guy. Hopefully we can meet you one day.
yes.
So I'll ask this because we talked a little bit, and so not only have you branched out into the transportation, you have some home. What are the homes?
Oh, yeah.
Forever.
The independent living
Independent
home.
living
Okay.
homes.
Like that.
Yes.
So
yes.
One of the things that really showed the, I guess, genuineness that Ronnie was talking about was like when me and you were talking when we met for the first time, and guess where we met, bro?
On my text message thread.
No, Zia's. Remember we was talking about Zia's?
Well, you took him to my favorite spot. Hold on, bro. I'm about to grow a beard, bro. Mike cheating on me. Well, I'm about to.
But it's a lot of mental health or substance abuse patients that live in these transitional homes and everything. And one of the cool things that you told me that you did was like, especially during the summer, you would go pick them up on the weekend, man. Bring them all to your house, barbecue, have a swim party and stuff like that, man.
Ain't nobody doing that.
Where does that compassion come from?
Man, just like I said, just growing up, and the type of environment I grew up with, my family's really close.
Yeah.
And family is everything.
Yep.
We all we had, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And, like I said, with my uncle, majority of my uncles, you know what I mean? My mom's husband, he's a phenomenal man, stepping in and helping out with me and my brothers, my younger brothers as well. And just seeing how, he treated her and he taught us how to treat women and people. Man, like just looking up to those guys. So when I see things like that, and when we used to go to family gatherings, and I seen the hospitality and how it made me feel, and how it made my mom feel, and I was like, okay, man, eventually I want to be that guy who hosted.
That's
and
awesome.
Treat people that
Bro,
way.
that's
so powerful,
fire.
bro. It's so powerful.
Because and I know you caught up on the episodes, and we truly appreciate that. But that's what I talk about all the time is I remember what it was like to feel suicidal, to feel lonely, to feel abandoned, to feel neglected. And it was all myself doing. But and so that's why I go so hard doing what I do now as far as like helping people in recovery. So they never have to feel like that.
Right.
And they get a chance to feel like this side
feel
of
that
life
family
we feel
love.
now. So at any point, like, did Shakeir just have a breakdown, or like you say, you got younger siblings? Like, have you always had to be strong for them because they looking up to you? Like, what went? Like, did you ever have a moment to where you just wasn't this perfect, well-dressed gentleman to where you was just like ready to throw it all away?
Man, I think younger, no, because my mama kept us together. You know, certain parents, like we talked about, you'll never know nothing is wrong with them, but behind closed doors, they may be crying in the bathroom, or they lock the door and crying in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never really understood, I guess, any type of depression then, but afterwards, I think the first time I never forget, when I got released from the Rams, and this is before the Redskins called me. And obviously, whenever you're released from a team, you're still practicing and training, but you don't know when the phone is gonna ring. So you constantly just got it with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get calls from unknown numbers. You just
Answer
open
right
it,
away.
hoping. And sometimes that gets not depressed, it gets frustrated and discouraged whenever it's not a team calling you. And then you like, is this the end? You don't know. And that's times where you would wake up. At this point I was sleeping on I was on my grandmother's couch because it's kind of like one of those things where, not saying you're embarrassed, but every time you go outside, people just seen you on TV last week. Now you back in the neighborhood, so they're like, what happened? What happened? And so, I don't know. It was a mixture of embarrassment, discouraging, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And though that was what I'd say was one of my most depressing moments.
Yeah. So for people that's never like been in the NFL, I know how it go because I met Ty Davis Price, so I'm technically in the NFL.
That's the running back, huh?
Yeah, my girl, she got a meal prep company called Lifted Fitness and Nutrition.
Okay.
And the San Francisco 49ers, which is my favorite team in the whole world, I got them tatted on me.
Okay, yeah.
Emailed her one day to feed one of the athletes while he was in the offseason. It happened to be Ty Davis Price. So I met him twice. So technically, I was on the practice squad because I had to go see him 2 times.
I want Ronnie's rationalizations.
Yeah, man, I like Ronnie,
I mean,
man.
so technically, one time I saw Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. I saw him in the
You
airport.
a
So
billionaire.
technically, I was on Shark Tank.
No, technically you a billionaire just without the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time when I was a kid at Disney World, I saw Michael Irvin.
Hell yeah. So technically you're a cokehead.
Don't talk about that, man.
Oh, man.
Hell,
I'm sorry, bro.
Might make the shade room.
I'm sorry. Listen. Big Play 88, I rock with you.
You just mad because he was out there fucking over the 49ers.
Never. But
He went to
Dion,
Miami, huh?
no, he went to Miami Hurricanes. He ain't do Florida State bad. Don't you even think about
No,
But then he went to Dallas.
He went to we shut him down. Deion Sanders, better go check the film. Deion Sanders prime,
prime time.
305 prime. Yeah,
Yes,
shut him down.
So, as a person who's been involved in upper athletics, man, we'll kind of wrap it up with this, just kind of free flowing it. What do you think about all the new stuff with NIL and all that stuff happening in college athletics? What's your thoughts process on that?
Man, I think it's great. I
Yeah.
mean, just think about it, man. The amount of money these these coaches make off the student athletes.
Absolutely,
That's probably the reason these
Not even
schools
just the
running.
coaches, like the schools themselves.
Right.
dude.
A killing.
Absorbing an amount.
Yes.
And it's crazy because even before NIL, you mean to tell me we can pay a coach $5 million a year, but I get a $40,000 a year scholarship, and I'm the reason he's, you know what I'm saying? And I think that especially for bigger schools like your LSU's, your Alabamas, and you telling them
Florida States.
Florida States, they they can't get anything. I mean, just imagine like Johnny Manziel, and I actually played with Johnny Manziel in Hamilton, in Canada. So he was my
remember
quarterback.
when he played with Hamilton. I remember that.
We was on the same team, and
He was wilding out then.
a little bit, but he actually was more so chill.
Okay.
Yeah, he was real chill. That was after that phase. Now, what he did, maybe outside of the
He
field,
was on the Browns is when he was really coming into practice hungover and stuff. He got a fire documentary. He do a fire interview with Shay on Club Shay. Fire interview.
Good dude though, man. Like I said, I'm sure kind of y'all can relate to certain addictions that people may have.
Absolutely.
But man, great dude.
Yeah.
Down to earth. Not really the flashy type like people may think. The whole money. I think that's maybe just his passion on the field.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and some people, a lot of athletes get into that I guess alter ego type
Persona
thing.
type,
Like
yeah.
that's who they are when it just clicks when they're on the field, and that's who they gotta be. Is them versus the world, and it's passion and love, and I mean that's what it's so crazy the contradictions that so many people operate in. Like so many people say like they love college sports because of the passion, but then heavens forbid a player actually shows some passion on the field, and they're like, "Oh, he needs to act like he's been there." No, it's passion. It's
And
love.
women athletes get it the worst.
Yes, absolutely.
When they show passion, that's not lady like this, that, and the third.
You had and look, I like some of his content, but it really rubbed me the wrong way. The things that Dave Portnoy said about Angel Reese when she if it was a male athlete doing that for Michigan, which was his school, you'd be all pumped about it.
For it.
But because it's a female finally showing some passion, finally drawing some eyes, look, competitiveness is competitiveness, right? Like when you're in that mode, it's kill or be killed, basically.
That's why I hate going to the gym with Caleb, bro. I'm like, bro, put that down. I can't live. Stop it. I'm not going to do this in here. So now we work out at separate gyms. So before we wrap up, tell the people, like, the process to get the services with Get Going, how they can find you, phone numbers, links, social media, all that good stuff.
So pretty much you would reach out to us phone, and you can text as well your information, 337-243-9007. So most people, what they do, they'll call and say, hey, I need a ride to my appointment. And whether me or the dispatcher will answer the phone and, kind of get the information depending on their insurance. And what they'll have to do is they'll have to call the number on the back of their card, because that's how we get paid through insurance, the brokers. Once they do that, they request Get Going transportation. Insurance calls us and say, hey, Ron and Mike said that you said it was okay for a ride with them. We confirm. And
next thing you know, you show up, pick them up, and bring them to their appointment.
Bring them.
It's simple as
and they always on time.
Always on time.
Yes, indeed.
Always on
Never
time,
late.
man.
Because this man was early here.
So if you don't want to be late, don't wait. Hit that number now and be at your appointment 8:15.
And look, so
Still trying out for the marketing job.
where can our followers, follow you on? Or what's your socials?
Oh, my Instagram is Shake Something, ShakeSumn _
Yes, sir.
So y'all can follow me on social media, Instagram. So, But I actually have a question for y'all before we wrap up.
Oh, we never got. Hold on. We got a question asked. Let's go.
I'm prepared.
So, okay, well, I'm going to start with you first, Mike. So, where was your breaking point to where you said, you know what, I need to stop doing what I'm doing because this is affecting my life tremendously? And how did you overcome that?
So, I've never shared it I've shared it in my story, but I've never shared it on this platform. February 29th, 2016, it was a leap year, so it was February 29th, was the last day that I used drugs. I had an intervention a couple days before where the girl I was seeing, his parents had showed up at our house, and there was some stuff going on. They were like, y'all either go to treatment or something bad's gonna happen. And so February 29th, I got high and dropped my the girl I was seeing off at a treatment center, and then I went to treatment. So March 1st, 2016 is my sobriety date. And on March 5th, I think it was about 4 or 5 days later. It was a Friday at the treatment center I was at. And my parents showed up. And I was like, what the hell are my parents doing here? They've been to a lot of family days. And but anyway, so I'm talking to them. I'm running it with them. And about 15 minutes after they're there, my counselor shows up, and he was like, hey, y'all ready? And so they brought me in his office. I knew something was off at that point. And so my mom and dad proceeded to tell me, so one of the big things that the intervention was about was that the girl I was seeing was pregnant. And so they said if we didn't go to treatment, they were going to call OCS. And on March 1st, which is my sobriety date, my son was born premature, addicted to opiates, and I wasn't there. I was at treatment. And so on that March 5th family day, my family proceeded to tell me that I was a father. And they had arranged for me to be able to go see him. And my counselor said, do you want to go see your son? And my first response was no, because I didn't feel like a father. And so my counselor asked me to, he's like, he asked my parents if he can talk to me for a second. And we went walking around the facility, and he said, Michael, do you know what it's like to be a man? And for the first time in my life, I was honest with myself. And I said, I don't have a damn clue. I'm just scared, shy, insecure little boy trying to operate in an adult world. And so I went and saw my son that day, and I made a commitment that any suggestion those people made, I was going to do what I had to do. Because like you, I grew up where like family was really important. And I had a purpose at that point. And, you know, a lot of people say that, like, you know, you can't get sober for your kids, or you can't, you know, and while that is somewhat true, they can still be a hell of a motivating factor. See, I had to have that external situation create an internal desire to change, and that's what it did. And so until that internal desire was really there, I used that. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to be the best man I can for that boy.
God damn, y'all cutting onions in this house?
Nah, man, that's
That was my moment, man.
yes indeed.
All right, we can end with that. All right, same question.
Same question for you, man.
Hey, man, so I'm an open book. I've shared this multiple times. I was to the point in my life where I wasn't looking in the mirror. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to brush my teeth. I wasn't keeping up with my hygiene. I hadn't pushed my kids and everybody completely away. And I was on my 6th suicide attempt, April 11th of 2019. And again, I couldn't even be successful with that. And then God just, like, I prayed. God came to me, showed me my life before my eyes. And so I made another covenant with God, you know, spare my life, you know, albeit his work well. And then from then on, I went to treatment. I started getting that connection back with my higher power. I did a lot of internal work. I faced a lot of the same stuff, you know, that Mike went through. It's just not being a father, not having a relationship with my kids. And so, you know, just praying and building a foundation, and then, you know, keeping the people, you know, like-minded people around me, or seeing people that had what I wanted, you know, keeping them around me. And like, I just, you know, I can't really say exactly like what clicked inside of me, but I do know when that clicked, the fire that was lit for me to not only change and be a better person, but to use my story and my mess and everything to help somebody else. Like, I surrendered my life then to, you know, to be a sacrifice for the betterment of others. And 5 years later, like, it's still, you know, it's still here. And you know, Mike got his kids. You know, I have two of my biological kids full time, and the other two, like, I'm still fighting to get. Like, we have a relationship, but we don't have a bond, if that makes sense. So, like, now, one of my driving factors to continue to keep being better at life and growing better is that so I can get that bond back with my kids and not just have a relationship.
Absolutely, man.
Yep. So mine was like a lot of self-harm, and, you know, just like not being able to even do that successfully. And it's just like, what am I here for?
And he had the blessing of meeting Michael Oakley.
I did have the blessing. No, you're right. You're right, because at that point, I feel like once I made that covenant and I took it serious, everybody that was put in my life at that little beginning point, it's still here now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
God knew what he was doing. Like, he was talking about timing.
For sure. And you talk about it all the time. It's like, I was hanging on to every word you said. I was desperate. I was broken. But it was also like, it was perfect. Yeah, it was like what I needed to hear, so I knew it was God sent. Even if he didn't say it how it needed to be said, he said what needed to be said. So yeah, you was a blessing, bro. You was a blessing, man. You had me, boy, you got me out here like this at the end.
Where y'all met?
In treatment. He was my, can I say that? Yeah. So Mike was my superior, I guess. Okay. Like, he was the administrator and the educator at the treatment facility I went and got sober at. And so while I'm a client, I'm his hype man too. You know what I mean? I'm hyping him up for everything he's saying. And so when I get out of treatment, I go get a job at a plant. And he was like, bro, I'm gonna hire Ronnie to work here. So when I got like 2 months sober, he hired me to work for him at the facility as a tech.
Okay.
And then we just jammed, and it just grew into this.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
it just grew in it. So July 2019, he hired me as a tech at the Grove, and we ain't miss a beat since. I was the first black dude he took to a game. So yeah, Willis. Obviously, I was the first black dude he took to the game. Yeah.
Hey,
So
listen, everybody. Y'all remember though, it didn't happen this episode, but the contest is open. The shoe contest is open, so y'all be prepared.
Hey, wait, guess what?
What?
You listening?
I'm listening.
You listening?
I got you.
Y'all listening? Merch is coming soon.
Merch is coming soon.
Merch is coming soon. All I'm going to say is we got college colors. All right. Shakeir, Ryan, we appreciate having you, bro.
Absolutely,
We appreciate
man.
you coming and blessing the Built by the Red Stick podcast.
Appreciate
Anytime you want to come, you welcome, bro.
Yes,
You
indeed.
can even take my spot. You beat me here. And to our listeners, man, so the likes, the comments, our subscribers, our future subscribers, we love you, we see you, and we appreciate you. And as always, we'll be back at the same time, at the same new place, with the same producer, baby. Built by the Red Stick. Built by adversity, led by courage.